So what we start today with is we do some practice of loop questions. We had done a few yesterday in the class, and now we continue further, right? Now the first few I think you can answer. So I keep the chat box open. You will be telling me or writing me out that how do we proceed with the first few questions. Like, because you've learned the range function, you've learned how to use the range function with the for loop, and how does the for loop counter variable picks up the range, the values generated by range one by one. So that we have seen. Okay. So I would just like you to try out with me quickly these questions. Okay. So the first one says, print the first 12 natural numbers. By natural numbers, I mean numbers starting from 1. Everybody agrees to that, I believe, right? So what do I do that my program or my loop should be able to pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to 12 and print that? What do you say? Any input required from the user?
No.
No, you agree to that because he's told me I want 1 to 12. That's it. So no input required. So I say for I in range, I have to start from 1. If I don't mention 1, then it starts from 0. That's the trouble. So I want to, and 0 will become a whole number. So I don't want 0 to be printed. Hence, I have to tell him the start. So start from 1, go till, if I want to print up to 12, what should be the value of upper limit? We discussed this point yesterday. If I want to print till 12,
30.
yes, be careful about this, children. This you have to be very, very careful that for the for loop range function or other range function being used any other manner also, the upper limit has to be little more than the actual value you want. Okay, because that's like the point till where it does not work. That value it will not pick up the last value, right? Now, do I need to give this one or it can be avoided? The last one, this one, that is every time increment the value by 1. So start with 1, plus 1, 2, plus 1, 3, plus 1, 4. This one means that plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, right? So do I need to give this one or it can work without that? Yes? Okay. I would say that it is optional.
It is optional because
Yeah.
we are increasing by.
Yes, it is optional. We are increasing by 1. So we may avoid giving it. If you want to give, you can. Right? So this is it. My loop is ready. So my I will be picking up what all values? My I will pick up first 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, 1 by 1. Every iteration, one value will be picked up. Every iteration, one value will be picked up, right? So ultimately, because I need not do anything else with that value, I just have to print it. So I will simply print that. Okay, let's quickly save and execute. I'm just naming it as L1. I already have something called that. Never mind. Okay, right? Let's execute and see. Right? 1 to 12. Any confusion in this? Disha, is it okay? Disha, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I'm having some. I'm checking my mistake.
Acha, okay. Now, what happens if I do 13 to 1? What happens if I do 13 to 1? What am I trying to do exactly?
Reverse order.
Yes, I'm trying to do reverse order. But the problem is that because I'm not giving him this particular value, that is the third value, it will still keep on incrementing only. Isn't it? So you are trying to tell him that start from 13, go to 1 by incrementing by 1. Is it possible?
No, ma'am.
Start from 13, go to 1 by incrementing by 1. Is that possible?
No, ma'am.
It's not possible, right? So that is why when you execute this code, you actually will not get any output, because initially itself he will check out and tell you, I'm sorry, I can't do anything. Because you're asking him to do an impossible thing. You're saying start from 13, go to 1 by incrementing by 1. That's not possible. That is possible by which means? Minus.
Put -1.
Yes. So whenever you want him to go in the reverse or the higher number to lower number, I have to give the third argument, which is going to be my negative value. Okay. Unfortunately, it's showing me that part. Sorry. So 13. Now 13, because start to always goes from that start position only. Hai na? So that is why 13 is coming, and 13 to 1. So till where will it print? 13, 12, 11, 10. Yeah, up till 2. Okay. Because I said up to 1. So reverse may, can you see? It is like one number higher. And in the case of positive direction, it is one number less than the stop value. Small thing, just you have to keep in mind, reverse the output, calculate the output in your mind and see, is it logical? Do I get one less or one more? And accordingly then do it. Don't do it in a hurry. You'll make mistakes. Okay. Now, if I want him to jump by more or less in terms of the step value, like I'm saying -4 every time. So 13 -4, whatever it is. Then 13, that value -4, whatever it is. So like that, we can give this change. The step is basically the change you want, how much change you want in the value. 13 -4, 9, -4, 5, -4, 1. But 1 cannot be printed because 1 is the upper limit. That is why it is giving me only 13, 9, and 5. If I would have made it 0, he would have given me 1 also. Let's try that too. So if I do 13, 0, -4, I should get 13, 9, 5, 1. Okay? That's how it works. Now let's quickly do the second one. You should be able to tell me now. Print all even numbers up to 20, because this we did yesterday. Even numbers up to 20. My even number starts from?
2.
I want it till 20, means I want the 20 value also. So I give it till
21.
21. Okay. And every time increment by
2.
2. Correct? Right. Because every second number is a even number. So I have to increment the value by 2. 2 to 20. Okay. Next one. Odd numbers up to 10.
1.
Okay.
Ma'am, we'll start
11.
from 1.
Right. Then
Ma'am, till ma'am, then ma'am, we'll write her 10.
correct. We'll write till 10, because I know that if I say odd numbers up to 10, then what should be my last output?
9.
9. So I can easily write up to 10. Even if I write here 11, I will get up to 9 only.
9 only.
Okay, but okay, fine. Even if you write till 10, it's absolutely fine. So let's move on checking this part. 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Okay. Now print all multiples of 5 from 1 to 80. So this way you can have like tables of any number like this, multiples of 10, multiples of 30, multiples of 18, multiples of 20, any number. Multiples means what? Basically the table, right? So here if it is saying multiples of 5 from 1 to 80 means 5,
581, 5.
Acha, okay. I thought the next number you're saying is 581. Okay, so let's see, of course, 5, multiples of 5 from 1 to 80 will be which numbers?
And from 5, ma'am.
It start from 5, then 10, then 15, then 20, like that.
Yes,
Those are
ma'am.
the multiples of 5, right? And I wanted till 80. 80 is a multiple of 5. So I will give 81 and increment by 4. This way I can actually get a full table, multiplication table printed for any number. Such a simple code to do that. 5.
It can also be 081, 5.
It can be 081, 5, but then why do you want to print that 0? 0 is not a multiple of 5 technically. The first multiple of 5 is 5 only, na? Okay, see, who's the one who asked this question?
Ma'am, me.
No, me is who?
Adya.
Okay, Adha, beta, just take out one thing. Keep that in one. Keep this one thing in your mind. Everybody, rather, that this start one always starts from the number given. I can understand what's coming to your mind. Like for this stop limit, I'm giving extra, no? If it is a positive direction and one less if it is a negative direction. But for start, it is always going to start from the number you give. Okay. So that is why start here should not start from 0 because 0 is technically not a multiple of 5. 5 is the first multiple of 5. So I should start with 5 only. Am I clear with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Next one. Question number 6. Print 1 to n natural numbers. 1 to n. Now, anywhere you get
I'm
this.
input.
Yeah, we need this input because I don't know what is n. So I need the input. So let us check out. N is equal to int input. Again, you can use eval. There's no problem in that. Because here I am expecting a number, not a decimal thing. So I'm going for int only. Enter upper limit. And here it is the upper limit because it is 1 to n. So upper limit I'm asking. Otherwise, this is simply text. Whatever you want to write, you can write that. Now, what change do I make in this? 1 to n I have to print. So start from 1. Go till n plus 1. So it will print till n. And because it is direct 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, so I don't want any increment to be given because it will automatically increment by 1. So there is no hassle. I can easily work out. My upper limit is suppose 9. I will get numbers 1 to 9. Okay. Now here 1 was by default. I have taken up 1. No, it's not by default. I have taken up 1. I've given 1. Even if I don't give 1, it will start from 1 only. That's okay. But the next question says, user tells me from where to start and up till where to go. Right? N to M. That means I don't know the lower limit. I don't know the upper limit. Both my user will give me. Right? So because it says n to m, so I'll also change this variable to m because that is like telling me the upper limit. As such, there is no trouble. That's an internal usage. You can use any variable. Output method variable is not coming, na? So it doesn't really matter. It's just a way of presenting the question. It could have been print I to j natural numbers also. That is also correct. There is no hassle in that. So int.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
ma'am, in question number 7, can we get the answer as in negative?
Yes, you can give the numbers as negative also, but then if you are trying to give a negative value, then your range will be changing. The way of writing that tarika will be different. And if you want to write two things, like if it is positive, then it has to be written in a separate manner. Yeah.
Ma'am, like the question in the practical file, we had a similar question.
What did it say?
Ma'am, I'll just open the question.
Okay, let's still then do this. That's a very interesting way of handling that. What you're trying to say, that let the user give me any kind of a range. Palash, what did you ask, Peter? How can we go backwards in numbers using range, like from 0 to -5 or 10 to 5? I hope I have answered your question by now. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Fine. Okay, so here basically I am telling him the lower limit should be this and the upper limit should be this. So I'm assuming it to be, what do I say? That I have to go from lower to upper, or I might go from upper to lower also. But then obviously the loop will differ. The way we write, it will differ, right? If you write lower to upper, positive, that is +1 or +2, whatever. If it is low upper to lower, then it is a different way of putting it, right? So that has to be then asked from the user again. You want it in positive direction or reverse direction? Take that input also. Then we can implement it. Right? As of now, we can say here that start from n, go till m plus 1, and every time increment by 1 because it is not talking about any jump. How much does it want? Okay. So whatever the user mentions, accordingly the question works, rather than from one or rather than a defined limit. Here it will be as per the user's requirement. So if I'm saying lower limit is 8, upper limit is 19, so I should get numbers from 8 to 19. My screen is a little small here, so yeah. Okay, this is the output coming. 8 to 19. That's okay. But after taking this lower and upper limit, if you are expecting that the system should give me an output of 19 to 8, so obviously my this will change, no? He has to start from M, go till N minus 1, and then comma minus 1. This has to be a completely different one. So then how will the machine know whether you want a positive one or negative one? Take that input also. Right? I will do this question, not a problem, but maybe at the end. I don't want to make it complex for somebody who is handling it for the first time and not very confident. It can be easily handled. Maybe just you can take an input like, okay, press 1 for a positive direction output and press 2 for a reverse output. And then we check if the input is for this, whatever, if I'm saying suppose Q. So if Q is equal to 1, so whatever I have written, right? Because I want positive direction. If Q is equal to 2, then I will just reverse that. I mean, should I do it? It's not that difficult also. Everybody can handle, all 21 of you people. Let's take an input saying enter. Like we sometimes, when we are doing those calls also, phone calls, and they say press 1 for English and press 2 for Hindi. We do that, right? So here we are saying enter 1 for positive direction. I'm not able to get what other word I should be using. Or 2 for reverse. Language you can think of what you want. Okay. So this is the other input I take. Okay. Again, because I'm taking 1 or 2, so I'm using the int conversion, right? Now I say if my Q is equal to 1. That means he wants the output in the positive direction. If he is wanting the output in the positive direction, then whatever I've written is correct. But this data is inside the if. Okay. So it has to go proper indent, right? Rather than you pressing tab and taking it inside, there's this option available, format indent region. So one indent inside it always takes. Okay. So this for statement is inside if and this print is inside for. Okay. This option is format indent. And similarly, you can de-indent also by the other option. Right? One level. It will be one level only it will be done. Not multiple levels. Okay. So if this is one input, then I get a positive thing. Elif Q is equal to 2. Now what should I do? Tell me. What will be my range now? That is, I want upper to lower in the reverse direction.
M, comma, N plus 1.
Will it be N plus 1?
I'm N minus 1.
Again, think better who said plus 1. Isko likho, write it with pencil that if my upper limit is 40 and my lower limit is 10. So I'm saying 40 comma 11 minus 1. So I am giving him one number less to print actually. Isn't it? So it will be N minus 1 comma minus 1. Let's check the print. And execute it. Good. We did a different kind of a question. Who did ask this thing? Who was the one who asked this thing? Okay, Disha, you asked. So enter lower limit 4, upper limit 40. Now I have to tell him whether I want it in the positive or the negative direction. So let's first do it for reverse direction, obviously, to check it up. So 2. If my answer is 2, he will give me 14 to 4. And if my answer is 1, he will give me 4 to 14. But because that code is not in a loop, so I have to run the program again. 4 to 14. 14 to check both the inputs basically. If it is 1, it will be 4 to 14. Good, we did a new question. Great. Interesting. Take a screenshot of this. And if somebody is absent, you can try it out maybe later. Take a
Ma'am,
screenshot.
can we take input for increment and decrement also?
Yes, you can, beta. Of course.
Ma'am.
You can use that variable here too. You can do that too. No problem.
Ma'am, I got that question.
Speak up. What is the question?
Write a program to print numbers in the reverse order from n to n.
There
Shall I
you
show
know
how?
that. No. I've understood. There you know the question itself is saying that it is supposed to be in the reverse order.
No, ma'am, shall I show how did I do it? I didn't do like this, how you did.
Actually, this 2 is not required. Na? I mean, this input is not required because you know you have to go in the reverse direction. Maybe you definitely must have done it in a different manner. Okay, let me see. Or can we check it at the end?
Okay, ma'am.
No, just keep it handy. We check it at the end. Okay. So I hope somebody has taken the screenshot of this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, my question was if the user enters like I did that, enter a number and enter the second number. What if the user enters the first number greater than the second number?
It will not execute unless you have checked it and accordingly implemented just to take care of.
Yes,
the
ma'am. So
user's
I
input.
added a statement that print second number greater than the one.
Very good. You have printed him. If the user is foolish enough to do it still the wrong way, then one is that you yourself can implement a check. Na? If A is greater than B, karke, then print
Yes.
like this. If otherwise, print it the other way around. So that way can be done.
Okay.
That is making your program robust. That let the user enter any nonsense. My program will handle it. Yes, we do. We definitely go for these things. Chalo. Now we move further. N to M natural numbers. I think it's okay. We have already done that. No problem. Now we come down to these. That with this numbers being generated, I want to do something else also other than just printing the values. Till now, whatever questions we did was that whatever numbers were being generated, I was just printing. Okay. Now we move on to that. I want to add those numbers. Sum of first n natural numbers, right? So let me just take a new file here in this case. I'll close this one so that it stays with me. Okay. Now here we start. Sum of first n natural numbers. First of all, what is unknown to me? What is unknown to me here? Yes, Petra. What is unknown?
Upper limit.
The upper limit, right? Saim, are you correct? Am I correct? My upper limit is unknown because it says n, right? Right. So first n means I have to start from 1 because my natural numbers start from 1. I don't start from 0 because 0 being a whole number, right? So I start from 1 and I have to go till whatever user mentions in n. But what am I trying to do with those numbers? I'm trying to add them. That means ultimately I want 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 like this up till n. Okay. Now, see, if you're doing it manually, so what do? 1 plus 2, 3. Okay. Is 3 ko supposedly you wrote it down somewhere. Okay. Now 3 plus 4, 7. 7 you wrote down. Then 7 plus 5, 11. No? 7 plus 5, 12. Okay. So there's somebody who's holding every time the number is added. Now, how do I make my computer do that? Here in my manually, if I do it, I will make it right. I will write it basically. And what I'll do is I'll cut the number and again write it. Like, so if I'm doing it maybe myself on a piece of paper. So what I'll do is I'll say, okay, 1 plus 2, so I know, okay, it is 3. Okay, so I said, okay, 1 add ho gaya, 2 add ho gaya, and I got 3. Now I generated the next number, 3. So 3 has to be added with this value and I get the new number. So that is 6. Now I generate the next number, 4. 4 has to be added to 6 and I get 10. I think I was doing something wrong in that addition also. Anyway, now 10 plus 4, sorry, that means need not be cut as such, but 10 plus 4, 14. So what is happening? I need somebody to generate these numbers for me up to n. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, step by step. And every time that value has to get added and stored at some place, which gets replaced, isn't it? So supposing I start from 0. So first he is going to do 0 plus 1. So I got my first number added up, 1. Okay. Now the next number generated is 2. So 1 plus 2, I get my next number, next addition or sum as 3. Next number generated is 3. 3 plus previous sum is 6. Next number generated is 4. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Right? This is how even I manually do it. Now this is how I have to make my system also do. Now for that, in a loop, how do I get these numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4 up till n. How do I get this? We have been doing that using range function, isn't it? If I say for I in range 1, n plus 1, 1, so I will be able to generate 1, 2, 3, 4 up till n, no problem. But this is sorted. But then where do I add and keep it? Right? For that, I will take another container. I need another variable who will hold this value. And let that variable be named as s, because I'm doing summation. It can be any name. Initialize that to 0, because I have to give him some initial value. He has to start adding from that. And 0 के साथ add करेंगे तो वही number आएगा, है ना? 0 plus 1, 1. So I got my first value like that. So I initialize the value of s to 0, and every time now I should be adding with this s. What I should be adding? The number I generated. Where is this number stored which I'm generating? In my counter variable I. So every time I should do s plus I to get my next number. And then where do I store it? Every time I cannot be using a separate variable, no? कि पहले 0 कहीं पे stored था, फिर s plus 1 करा, 0 plus 1 किया, अब उसके लिए s1 बना दो, फिर 1 plus 2 किया, उसके लिए s2 बना दो, है ना? इसमें तो how do we keep on generating the so many variables? It's not possible. So same variable only we'll overwrite. Why? Because ultimately I don't need these inter values. I need the final value. If I had to add up to 4, my final answer he is requiring. He is saying print the sum of the first 10 natural numbers. He needs 14 as my answer. He doesn't need 0, then 3, 1, then 3, then 6, then 10, then 14. He doesn't need that. So I keep on replacing that added value back into s. So in one variable only I can do my work. Okay. So one is somebody has to generate the numbers and keep track of that. That is my counter variable I. And somebody who will keep on adding those numbers one by one and updating the summation or the sum. That is my s. Okay. That is how we perform this particular work. And now how do we write it? That we learn. Okay. So first thing first, I will first take the value for n, the upper limit. So n is equal to int input upper limit. Okay. Now next is I need that s to be initialized to 0. Right? That the first value of sum is your 0. Then I will keep on adding. So how do I add it? And I cannot do that before I generate the number. So I say for I in range, sorry, no spelling, range, start from 1, go to n plus 1, increment by 1, which is by default, so I'm not writing. Colon is important. Now my expression becomes s is equal to s plus I. Now, when you see this expression, how is the machine going to interpret that? This being an assignment operator. Okay, maths we call it equal to, but technically this is an assignment operator. An assignment operator works from right towards the left. So what will be solved first? The right side of the expression will be solved first. That means s plus I. Okay. Now step number 1 may s is 0. 0 plus the value I has got, which is 1. So 0 plus 1, 1. Where do I store this 1? Back into s. Okay, so S has become 1 now. Now he goes for the next iteration and takes the next value of I. Right? So next value of I is 2. Now again he comes to this expression. Again the right side will be solved first. Up current value of S kya hai? What was the previous value of S? I mean the current value which I calculated last iteration.
1.
1. So 1 plus the new value I generated, which is 2. 1 plus 2, where do I store it? Back into S, which is 3. Right? Now, if I want every time to show me, I want this fellow to show me what all S's are you getting every time, you can print the value of S here itself. Printing is happening inside the loop. Whenever the value of S is changing, he is printing, changing, printing, changing, printing. Okay, let's see the output of this. I'll get some idea of how is it working. Okay. Now let's execute. Suppose I want the addition up till 5. Okay. So if it is 5, what should be my first print? What it is going to execute? If it is 5, what should be my first print he gives me? Think.
Can you repeat?
I'm saying I've given my N as 5. Okay, my N is 5. S is 0. He comes here in the for loop. I picks up 1 and he checks, okay, upper limit is 5. 1 to 5 jana hai, minus 1 nahi hai, positive 1 hai. So it's okay. I can generate the numbers. So first number he generates is 1. Right? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Now what he
Okay.
does? S plus I. What is S? Currently what is S?
0.
0. Then plus I, 1. Okay, so 0 plus 1 becomes 1 and that goes and gets stored into S. S was currently 0. Now it will become 1 in the memory. So what should be the first value of S? What is being printed?
1.
1. Correct. Okay. Second iteration, what should be printed?
3.
Yes, because I will become 2 and then 1 plus 2, 3. So next value will be 3. So every step I'm making him print the value. If I don't want him to print the value at every step, then what should I do? I don't want at every step the printing. I want the final value, that 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5, kitna hai? I want that. I don't want ki usne 0
Ma'am,
plus.
like we have to back the indent.
So that means I want this print statement to be outside the loop. Right? If I don't want all values to be printed step by step. Have you got my point? How these printing values are coming? It is 0 plus 1, the first step. है ना? S 0 था, plus 1 किया, 1 आ गया. Now 1 plus 2. 3 plus 3, 6. 6 plus 4, 10. 10 plus 5, 15. So the numbers which are being generated step by step are being added and stored in another variable, which is my S. If you want every step, whatever the numbers are being generated, I want to see them, then put the printing inside the loop. Technically, I don't want that, so I should be taking it outside the loop. Okay. Now let us do the execution once more. Final output. It kept on storing the value changes in the S with every step, but did not print it. Finally, once all the values have been added up and the range has been fulfilled, all the values have been picked up, it comes out of the loop and then prints the value. Am I clear? So 2 stages. One is what numbers you want to add. That will define your range ka working, that what all numbers you want him to work with, to add. Then is the step of addition. How do I implement the step of addition? Then of course, how do I give the output? You can say 3 stages of this. Okay. Now I make a small change in the question. I'm saying I just want to print the even numbers from 1 to 5. Like let my n be 5. I want to print only the even numbers. Means 2 को add करे और 4 को add करे. बस. So what change should I make? Think. Here, this range was giving me all the numbers from 1 to 5. So he was adding all the numbers.
Ma'am, +1 will be changed to +2.
Think again. This gives me the upper limit. Changing it to +2.
Ma'am, we have to change the start value to 2.
Yes, for even numbers, I have to change the start value. कि 1 को तो add करना ही नहीं है ना, 2 से add करना है. और फिर अगला number कौन सा add करना है?
Increment third.
Yes, because every time you want him to go to the next, not the next one, but one extra value. So step 2. This will generate the even numbers from 2 to n, and then whatever you generate, he'll keep on adding. So adding ka expression doesn't change because what work he has to do, that remains same. Now, what do you want to add? That depends upon what you write. Let's check that. Let me give the same input of 5 and see whether I'm getting 6 or not. Yes. Right? So that is your question number 9. What do I do when I want odd numbers instead of even? Quick. Now somebody who's already answered will not answer. I want somebody else to answer. Try others also. Akshita, Abhigyan.
I will write 1 instead of 2.
He will write 1 instead of 2. That is it. Because for odd numbers, I need to start from 1. So in this case, what should be added? 1, then 3, then 5 also. That is why my this n plus 1 has to remain n plus 1 only. Okay? This was not required when it was at even thing. Because वो 5 extra था already. But हमें तो नहीं पता user क्या input देगा, right? So here I want 5 also to be added. So 1 plus 3, that is 4. And 4 plus 5, that is 9. So generation of the numbers will vary. Activity, the loop body, what you want him to do in the loop repeatedly, that remains same in the code. Okay? Right? Now, one more thing. I think you have understood this. If I want to multiply the numbers, let me get back to the original code. That is all the numbers from 1 to n. I want to multiply instead of addition. That is, I want to do 1 into 2, 2 into 2, then whatever the answer is coming, that into 3, then that into 4, then that into 5. I want to multiply instead of add. What should I do?
The arithmetic operator.
I have to change the operator. Do others agree to that? I was adding here. Instead of adding, now I'm saying I want to multiply. So let me change it to multiplication. But there is one hassle in this. Let's try to execute and see what my answer is coming. I want to multiply on the numbers up to 5. Okay. My answer comes 0.
We have to change the S to 1.
Excellent. Who was this?
Siam.
Siam. Excellent, beta. Because the very first time he is multiplying 0 with 1. Answer aa gaya 0. फिर 0 with 2. Answer aa gaya 0. फिर 0 with 3. Answer aa gaya 0. है ना? So because when you are adding the numbers, taking a 0 initially will not affect the final, the values, because 0 के साथ add किया तो answer same होता है. So 0 plus 1, I'm getting 1 only. But if I have to do product, I cannot take 0 because multiplying by 0 will give me a complete 0. Okay. Multiplying by what doesn't change the answer? Multiplying by 1 doesn't change the answer. Okay.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, I have done question number 9 in different, question number 10 in different way.
Okay, no problem. Are you getting the answer?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I have used ma'am if statement.
Okay, I understood how you would have done it. It's absolutely fine. If you want to do it like that, that is also no trouble. Okay, now 1 to 5, all the numbers multiplied. So 1 into 2, 2, 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, and then 24 into 5, 120. Okay, so all numbers printed. अब हम लोग को थोड़ा step by step I want to see. So let's add this print statement inside the loop, so that I can see the step by step answer also. I want to add up all the numbers up to 5. Sorry, multiply all the numbers up to 5. So first time it will be 1 into 1, 1. Then this s multiplied by the number generated 2, 1 into 2, 2, 2 into 3, 6, 6 into 4, 24, 24 into 5, 120. When you put the print statement inside the loop, then I get every print statement. Okay, now for these you can again have the values, even numbers ka multiplication product, odd numbers ka product, all that you can try out with this. I hope I am clear with this particular working. Anybody having any doubt? Can ask. Because that is the thing which we want you to be ready with for your theory exam. Is it difficult? No answer? Come on. Is it difficult?
No, ma'am.
Okay, group says no. What about others? Shivam, I didn't get any answer from your side. Is it okay? I hope it is. Right?